This is the powdered whey milk from Ready Hour. We're gonna look at the packaging, the shelf life. I'll go over the ingredients because it's not just milk, there's other stuff in here. If you're worried about GMOs, you're gonna wanna listen to that as well. We'll open up a pouch, try it out, and see how it tastes. So this comes in number 10 cans, but you can also get it in buckets like this. Has a carrying handle at the top. It's completely sealed. So for long-term storage, I would just leave it just like this. There is a little tear seal that you have to pull off to get the lid off. So you just pull this, rip this off all the way around, and then the lid pops off to reveal the pouches inside. So inside the bucket is where you're gonna find all of the pouches. Now I noticed some residue on the inside here. I don't know if that's a sign that one of the pouches is busted, which I'll look, but it's possible this is just residue from the factory. But I wanna point out one of the advantages of the way they package this. So by having all of the 9 pouches sealed individually, if one of the pouches becomes compromised, you're not ruining the entire bucket of milk. So that's something to keep in mind if you're thinking about just buying regular dehydrated milk from the grocery store. This product is set up for a lot of redundancy for long-term food storage. All right, so all the bags seem to be intact. I don't see any rips or tears in any of these, so I'm assuming this powder is just residue from the factory. So each bag is completely sealed. You've got your nutrition facts on the back here and your mixing ratios printed on the back of each pouch as well. So one thing I want to point out, this isn't just milk. So they have, whey, creamer, which is maltodextrin, palm oil, and all this other stuff here as well. Xanthan gum. So it does have some additional ingredients here that I would assume they do that for the longevity, but it's not just straight milk that's like freeze-dried or something like that. The other thing I want to point out here is it says it contains a bioengineered food ingredient. That's your GMOs. So if you're sensitive to that, just keep in mind this does have GMO ingredients. So the way this breaks down is 2 tablespoons of dry powder is 90 calories. So for the macronutrients, you have 2.5 grams of fat, 14 grams of carbs, which includes 9 grams of sugar. I'm sure that's gonna affect the taste and make it really palatable. Then you got 3 grams of protein down here. So the bag is completely heat sealed at the top here. Nice seal across the entire bag. And when you want to open one up, there is a little perforation right on each side of the bag. So you can just tear it off without needing any scissors or knife or anything like that. And you just want to be careful not to damage the zipper. So that's the thing that's really cool, is it has a resealable enclosure at the top. So when you open up one bag, if you only need 1 serving, you can always reseal it. Now, obviously you're not going to get the 25-year shelf life once you've opened a bag, but the rest of these will still have that long shelf life. So inside the bag, you'll see there is an oxygen absorber. So each bag has its own oxygen absorber, and it's a really fine powder here. So we'll follow the instructions to make 1 cup. So we need 2 tablespoons of powder with 1/4 cup of warm water and 3/4 cups of cold water. So a little lumpy when you're mixing it. It does recommend using a blender if you can. I'm just gonna try to squish some of these lumps over on the side here to break them up a little bit. This is pretty typical with like protein powder as well. So if you have one of these shaker bottles, it'll work really well with this. I was gonna use this, but I just wanted to use a clear glass here so you could kind of see it as I'm mixing it up. So it's actually breaking up pretty good now at this point. All right, so there is a glass of Ready Hour powdered milk. Now you could use this for cooking, baking, you could use it for cereal, or just drinking, making protein shakes. Really versatile to have milk on hand, obviously. So let's go ahead and give it a taste. Not bad. So I don't really drink milk myself, but I'm trying to think like it's kind of like room temperature. Let me throw some ice in it. I feel like I'm not getting like the full flavor profile because I'm like expecting it to be like refrigerated, but it's kind of like room temperature. Yeah, it doesn't really, it's not like as creamy as regular milk. And it's not, I was kind of expecting it to be sweeter, but it's a very like neutral milk flavor. All right, let's try it with some cereal. This isn't really fair because I don't just like drink a glass of milk. The only time I consume milk is like with a bowl of cereal. So let's try it in a bowl of cereal, and I can kind of give you my impressions on you know, how it tastes, if I kind of recognize it tasting different from regular milk. So here's what it looks like in a bowl of cereal. It almost has like a skim milk opacity to it. Like it doesn't have that like really thick white sort of appearance. It's kind of, it almost looks like thinned out a little bit, but let's give it a taste in the cereal. Okay, with cereal, it's fantastic. Yeah, this would definitely pass for cereal milk, you know, in an emergency, for sure. All right, guys, so the verdict is it's not gonna taste like, you know, fresh whole milk. You know, it's a little bit thinner, has a little bit more of a neutral flavor than fresh whole milk. However, for the shelf life that you get, something like this where you can put it, you know, in your pantry and forget about it for decades, this is definitely something I'm gonna keep on hand. I bought this with my own money. I bought it because of the versatility of milk. You know, like I said, using it for protein shakes or any sort of shake, cereal, cooking, baking. I wanted to have some sort of long-term milk on hand in case it's needed. So the biggest advantage with this is the packaging. So it's individually wrapped in the 9 different packages in the bucket. It's something you can set away and know it's gonna be there when you need it. The flavor, it's passable. You know, it's not like, you're not gonna drink it and be like, this is disgusting, I can't drink it. It's just gonna be a step down from the fresh product. And that's understandable because you're getting that long shelf life, so you're gonna have to deal with some compromises on flavor. All right, guys, so that's my overview of the Ready Hour powdered milk. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.